Keep a fire burning red and a Joshua representing for comes audio. Comes audio, son. You burn this swine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Comes, I say them heart no kind.
Never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money never, money never, money never, money. I know what you conniving. Money never, money. You can keep your conniving money. When you been a corrupt, in a biz there be money. Now because you money down, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, in a biz there be money. Now because you money down, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money never, money never, money never, money. Now I don't want you conniving money. Neighbor, joker. Neighbor, joker. Neighbor, joker. That's all the money that me walk. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. A 2 pound note and I kill that piece. This is all the money that me walk. I said money never, money never, money never, money. I don't want you conniving money. Oh, Joseph.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in the Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Comes TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruption over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trade me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see. Sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice. And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
Hey fans, it's karaoke and oldies night this and every Thursday at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton. Dance to the magical songs of yesteryear by popular DJs and Camps Audio. Admission is free. Come out, let's make memories at Club Twilight Sideline Dam, Buxton North.
Region 4, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting its annual general meeting for the period 2021 to 2022 on Sunday, the 25th of August, 2024 for members of Region Number 4. The meeting will be convened at the Critchlow Labor College, Wolford Avenue at 10 hours. Members are encouraged to pre-register at bit.ly/GPSCCU AGM 2024 for further instructions on how to take part in the meeting and to vote for a committee of management. The meeting will take place both online and in person at various locations across the country. Full participation of members is encouraged. Let us move your credit union forward. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. People helping people.
But I'm saying there's a lot to be desired from the performances. Call it life. You can't just be voted a councillor on the PNC ticket or whichever political party ticket, and then you enjoy the ride. And that party has no control or no say in terms of what you do. The PPP councillors got report to them every day as far as I understand, especially chairpersons. Call it life.
Yeah, good morning. Earlier in your program, you mentioned that pensioners were morning, Kidaki. I agree with that. Then I'm still calling her voice note. That is the same thing going on in Buxton. Then
purchased a mini excavator. What have they, Martin? Do your counselors, is there any mechanism? Again, sometimes they say repetition is the best teacher. And so sometimes you just have to keep repeating things so that others can catch on. Because there's sometimes some slow learners, you know. And as a remedial educator, I always cater for slow learners. As a matter of fact, my preference to teaching is to teach slow learners. Some people might say, I ain't like nobody smarter than me. But my thing is, I want everybody to be smart as me. So if you are a slow learner, I rather invest my time bringing you up so that you can compete with the others. And that is what we do in the Guyanese morning time all the time. We keep you abreast with what is happening, right? Because we want you to be able to compete with the others. We want you to get a big house too. We want you to get big business too. We want you to get everything that is good. Good. And so we will continue to educate you. This morning is Thursday morning. I'm supposed to have Winston Jordan. I don't know if he's back in his country, but I'm going to call him. I don't want to stand between Mr. Jordan and yourself for too long. So I'm going to call Mr. Jordan and see if he is available. And if he is, then we'll start that conversation to talk with Mr. Jordan. Good? They might say I am one of the, what should I say? Queerest hosts. I don't call people ahead of time and so on, you know. I just call when I want them. So when people see my call going through, they know Mr. Amsterdam is calling for business. Mr. Jordan, good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Kidaki. I am surviving a flu here that I brought from good old mother country.
You're in the import business. Yeah? Import got good money, it's an important thing.
But it's not sanctionable business.
All right, boss. I don't want you to get involved in them sanctionable business at all because, you know, they're going to lock you up and throw away the key. We don't want that to happen. Only some people just get off when they're doing sanctionable business.
And you know, we don't got 3 strikes. We're male, we're African, and we're Guyanese.
You know, no? Right? So you got to watch yourself. Don't get involved in them questionable business, though.
Don't get involved at all.
Don't
try. That's why I said that was a good holiday. Always good to catch up with family and friends. You know, every year, as you well know, this month is my 4th month. You know, and I take it a whole month like you. I mean, if you could take a month, I could take a month.
Monkey see, monkey do.
monkey do. So 2 Sundays ago was my 67th birthday, and I woke up to a really nice gesture from Astoria Insurance Company. There I was checking my phone, and very early in the morning, it was a happy birthday greeting. I've never experienced that before. Have you ever experienced an insurance company sending you a birthday greeting?
Not that I remember. No, I know the banks will normally send birthday greetings to the early savers. Because my children have been early savers, so I've always seen those birthday cards come. Right?
Yeah.
But once they become adults, they ain't got nothing to get.
Yeah. So I tell you, this was a really touching gesture. I've never seen an insurance company sending a birthday greeting, and this is not a life insurance, you know, not a life insurance or any such thing, right? It's just one of the other insurance that they do. So that was a really touching gesture, which I will commend to the other insurance companies. You know, it's not only about taking a premium and so on. It's also to make certain that you're in good health and good spirits and so on. And
because if you're not there, you can't pay insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Customer care is paramount.
Yes, and so that was a really touching gesture. Started the birthday quite well. But as you know, as you age, birthdays, I don't know whether to take on more meaning or less. But I guess ultimately you're happy to have survived, especially in this Jato's land that we call Guyana, where everything seems to go wrong, notwithstanding the huge resources we have been compiling over the last 3 years or so. But we are going to deal with that as we press on. August also was, as well known, the month of the Olympics. The Olympics, boy, I tell you, some great feats were performed and so on. But I really continue to be extremely disappointed in Guyana. Let us say, first of all, kudos to St. Lucia for winning, for bringing home not only a gold, but a gold and silver. Tremendous performance by Juju, herself, Julian Alfred. Tremendous performance. Hats off also to Dominico, who not only won their first Olympic medal, but was a gold medal. You know, so hats off to Dominico, one of the smallest countries competing in the Olympics and winning a gold medal. Hats off also to Grenada, who collected 2 bronze medals, right? Notwithstanding their gold that they got a couple of years ago and silver from Karani James. But hats off also to them. So when I look at, for example, the OECS, I look and see St. Kitts and Nevis winning a gold and another medal at the World Championships. I look now at Grenada winning medals at the World Championships and the Olympics. St. Lucia, Olympics. Dominica, Olympics. I'm not forgetting the outstanding ones like Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Bahamas. And there we are, Guyana, with a bronze medal that was won in a truncated Moscow Olympics by Michael Park. How many eons ago? And we seem not to be able to, first of all, rise to that occasion again, much less surpass. And I don't think, I mean, they could say what they want about Gordon, and I see none other than Vera in today's papers in another piercing letter on Guy Suko, in which he says the same thing. They could say whatever they want about the Bonham administration, but and he identified certain traits of that administration that can be commended to the rest of the society and particularly this government. But they could say what they want about the Bonham administration. But when you look at what, in terms of sports generally, and athletics in particular, the outstanding achievements that were recorded under the PNC administration, it's second to none. It's second to none with little to no resources, you know. But, you know, we keep talking about resources and resources and resources. But we're not be forgetting that unless you got a strategic plan, number one, that is backed by careful and resolute implementation, you could have all the resources you have in the world, and you will still not make any achievement. You and I know growing up, I more than you because I older than you, that sports day was a day to look forward to. There was intense rivalry among the houses in the schools, intense. And there was tremendous participation of the students in each house. And yes, I said students are not athletes, because you had something named standard, which you can gain a point for your house if you went out there and you just ran or throw the shot put or whatever, you reach a certain standard. That was an extra point to the house. There was intense rivalry. You don't see that today. And then after the school sports, there was inter-schools sports. When last you see inter-school sports of any word in this country? In fact, as you pass, in fact, September and early in October used to be the period identified for holding of sports events, athletic sports in the schools and so on. And it's dismal. You go around the place during September and you could hardly see school sports. And when you do, in many cases, it's such a bedraggled event with little to no participation. Most of the people in the stands, and who in the stands listening to bubble music or whatever is the music of the day. That feeling of excitement and camaraderie and competition and participation and so on, it's not there anymore. So the groundwork has been removed. Everybody running, everybody now to lessons from as early as kindergarten. You're running the students to lessons. There's no playtime anymore. There's no playtime anymore. Cricket from sun up to sundown. From sun up to sundown, cricket used to be played. Right? People talking about resources and how much of a bat and so on. We used to make bat out of coconut branch. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
You used to make bat out of coconut branch. And you used to get an old tube and cut up the tube and put it around Owara seed with newspaper. And you make ball. I don't know if you know the one.
I can't remember though. No, we never used to use a wire seed, but I know we used to use the rubber and make ball.
Yeah, you get the Owara seed and you put newspaper around it and so on, and you cut up a tube and so on, and then you keep putting on the rubbers and keep putting on the rubbers. You know, in fact, that is what maybe produced better cricketers in those days than these days, because when that ball hits the concrete and it starts going all over the rubber carries it all over the place and so on. Or if you miss, because you don't have pads and those things, if you miss and it crashes into your shin or something, right? And so people cricketers in those days learn to bat and learn how to keep bat and pad close together so that the ball don't knock your shin or something. You know, boxing, we produce some of the finest boxers in the Caribbean. Some of the finest boxers, you know, you name them. Some of the finest boxers we produce. And there are other well-known sports where we produce a lot. And look where we are today with more and more money. Look where we are today.
Why? Why the failure to attain those heights reached or maintain those heights reached without resources?
As I said to you, first of all, there's the absence of a strategic plan. There's no foundation. The basic foundation that we had, which started in the schools and the clubs and the grounds, they aren't there anymore. I used to go to scouts in Kingston at Kingston Methodist Church as a little boy. I used to live in Kitty. And I will have to come down Station Street, enter the park, Wolford Avenue as they call it, walk straight down Wolford Avenue. In Wolford Avenue, you had so many grounds. And grounds, I'm not talking grounds infested with buildings and all. You had grounds. And on those grounds, like GYO, MYO, Tutorial ground, I think that Central there, you had the Scouts Association ground, and all these different grounds. You had GNEC, Guyana National Engineering Corporation ground, and so on. These grounds, you pass there on Saturday, they were all filled with cricketers, whether it's Case Cup, North Coast Cup, White Cup, cricket being played Saturday and Sunday. All those grounds had some activity going on. You go to Thomas Lands, you had that ground. Yeah,
I think Martino's was there. Transport.
Guyana or something. I think where Actor is at the moment and so on. These grounds playing cricket on Sunday, as you well know. You walk to places like Albistown, Charlestown, Kitty, all got a cricket going on.
Cricket in the street, football in the street, boxing in the street.
You know how many houses had their windows broken and you die for cover after they come out to fire to break the window? Yeah? But you don't have those things. The foundation that produce at relatively low cost has gone.
Well, isn't it a direct I should say a direct effect of the government's lack of focus on the varying forms of sports. For example, I read recently, well, we're talking Olympics. The Guyana Olympic Association, quite frankly, is a private fraternity, as against something that is managed by the government and invested in by the government. It's a group of private individuals, quite frankly, doing their thing. And so when you have that kind of hands-off approach to something that is national, you can't expect a better result.
Look, that may be part of the problem, but for me, the GOC is the end of the food chain. Right? That's just my opinion. At the end of the food chain, we have the beginning of the food chain has to be the clubs and the schools, in particular the schools. And back in the day, the community centers, many of them that were run by Gaisuko, the community centers, okay? And that is where the working and the molding and the building of it has to take place. Many schools, no matter whether you were A, B, or C school, you had a games master and so on, who had to produce in school. And we're probably going to come to the teachers thing if we have some time. But look what is happening now. Yeah. And the parents don't encourage active participation of their children in sports anymore. You didn't have to be a dunderhead to be in sports. Some of the most brilliant people we produce in this country have also been known for their athletic and other prowess. Eric Phillips, Eric Phillips, the same Eric Phillips of today. Very bright fellow, but an incredible sportsman at Queen's College.
I learned just the other day from Dr. Hines that Vince Adams actually represented Guyana at cricket.
Yes, I know of Vince Adams. Right? Vince Adams actually represented, I think he was even called to trials or something, West Indies under 19 or something like that. Yes. Kaulasar says, Noreen Kaulasar, the former Minister of Finance, he was also, I think, rose to the occasion and was called either nationals or West Indies. You had people, and there are many. I think Radley was known for some set of things. I had quite a number of people today who have excelled in their fields, who are known also for their sports prowess. But today, what you have, people get 48 subjects, practice subjects, all kinds of subjects. And what are they known for in the athletics or sports field? What are they known for?
Again, let me tell you, because I follow what's happening in the education sector. I know you do too. The least available teachers in the schools are teachers to do phys ed. Right? Phys ed. You check across the country, all the schools have vacancies for phys ed teachers. All of them.
Because notwithstanding the monies we pouring into TVET, notwithstanding that, we still have not removed the stigma associated with doing TVET. We have not removed that. If you're doing TVET, it is assumed that you're bright. Right? That assumption is there, it's assumed that you're bright. And that thing is either enforced or reinforced by teachers, by parents, by peer students, by administrators, and so on. They don't give the impression that if you and which is not even an impression, the reality of TVET subjects earning you, in many cases, way more than doctor and all these different kinds of stories. They don't think that. The vacancy for the skills right now in Guyana, large number of those vacancies exist in the TVET sector. Large number exist in the TVET sector. Yet we don't All the money we spend, we take a huge loan from Caribbean Development Bank, this loan from the World Bank, that loan and so on. But we have not been able at the same time, we building more institutions, putting in more equipment and all this kind of machinery and so on. But we have not molded and transformed the thinking about these subjects. We have not. And in many cases where we might have had some level of success, when the people graduate and so on, they're still looking for jobs. There's no ready market that pulls them immediately into the particular areas of the job market. So yes, we train a lot. It's like this, sorry to be jumping on it, but it's like these gold people. You're producing them at a dime a dozen these days. I don't know what's the quality of these subjects, because I have to tell you quite frankly, I'm always suspicious of mass produce anything. And as far as I'm concerned, the goal is some mass produce degree, diploma, something factory. But notwithstanding you're producing all these different people and so on, no study has been done to see where these people are being placed, if they are being placed, and whether there has been a qualitative improvement in the performance of the sectors that they are being placed. None. So you're spending huge, as I said, the focus of this government has been on inputs, how much money we spend, right? We spend $1 trillion in a second, we spend $110 billion in education and so on. But nobody has done the output-driven analysis as to what this huge input that you're putting in has achieved. But let us come back to this Olympics story that I was talking, because we can shift all over the place, but that's fine. So I was telling a friend of mine just earlier this week that I recall, for example, in tennis, that is one of my areas that I like, because back in the day, he and I used to go to Queen's College and what we call Pope, because we couldn't afford to watch the Caribbean stars who would come and play tennis at Queen's College in the championship. So we would Pope and we would hide there for a couple of hours until this thing started and we'll come out. And used to watch stars exactly like Eric Phillips, right? And Mike Baptiste and Garth Isaacs and Raffit. And all these different players playing against people like Mansing Amarsing, Dark Kyle, and the famous Orville Haslam out of Jamaica and so on. And then we produced some fantastic women table tennis players like Denise Osmond, who was the sister of Deborah Backer, right? That was Deborah Backer's sister. They used to live there in Kingston in Barrack Street. Doreen Chowa, the Davidson's sisters, Carol and Udayati Davidson, Barbara Jekir, all those fantastic players. Some of them went on to become Caribbean champions. And when I look at the state of table tennis today, and look at the state of table tennis. They sent a girl to the Olympics. She got a wild card or something. Went to the Olympics. And I checked the background of this girl and realized she had been trained all over the place. She went to competitions all over the place, which our people back in the day did not get a chance to go. But I see she went to competitions all over and then went to some training in China, I think, or something like that, but exposed. And then I think she went to the Tokyo Olympics, and now she went again to this Paris Olympics. And my concern is that notwithstanding all this exposure and so on, notwithstanding the fact that perhaps she might have had more access to resources and overseas training than any one of the names that I called here, and so on, I'm concerned. I was concerned with the lack of progress. Lack of progress. And that is not only in that discipline. I mean, because she in her first run, she met somebody from some I think one of those African countries, somewhere, I don't know the rank was one. But not only was she not able to get past that first round, she just won one game in the set. Lost the set 3-1 or something like that. Just one game. So she spent the rest of the time in the Olympic Village, maybe meeting people, going, visiting Haven, the Versailles, Louvre, and all these kind of places. And the point, not one of our athletes was able to get past the first round or the heats. Not one. So I think the government should request a comprehensive report, number one, about what go on in that Olympics, and two, to immediately set up a committee that will look at the whole field of sports in Guyana and come up with comprehensive suggestions and solutions. And that's when you're going to know where to put your money and where to spend your money. We can't continue to be sending people to the Olympics just to participate. You may as well just send the ambassador or somebody to hold the flag and walk around the place. But we just can't continue to send people and say, because they're not competing. The most they do is participating. And we must come out of this thing and say we must congratulate our athletes for this, for meeting Olympic. None of them meet Olympic standard. They were given some pass or some B this and so on. You must come after that. If you want people to participate, there will be ambassadors and somebody else in the holy flag and walk on the place. But if we want to send athletes, we must send athletes who are capable at a minimum of getting past the heat, the first round heat, or the first round. And then we do incrementally there afterwards. Don't just send athletes because they happen to want to be included among the 200 countries or so on. I mean, that is my story. And therefore, that will call perhaps for identifying athletes with potential. I thought that there was some girl named Springer, a young girl named Springer who was doing quite well at the Carifta Games. I don't know, I haven't heard anything more about her, but she did quite well last year and this year. I think she got a gold medal or something that's quite well. She looked like a good distance runner and so on, right? And by the way, back in the day, we also produced distance runners. Two names I remember well, and they came out of the Estates. Harry Powell and a guy named Duarco. I don't remember what Duarco name, but Duarco.
I think it's one name. I always knew him as one name, Duarco. He was from Enmore. I think he worked with the estate.
Yes. So, and Harry Powell, the barefoot runner.
Yes.
Harry Powell in the marathon, right? And as you remember, even in cycling, we had some Hunt. I remember Hunt was one of the famous names in cycling that we had back in the day. I can't remember what his first name, but I definitely know his name was Hunt. So we have to start incrementally to build back and then move beyond those days when we competed. And I forget, even in the athletics, people like James Rangels, June Marcio Griffith, Jennifer Ennis, Collison, and all these people many of them got scholarships to universities like Fisk University, and so on, and did quite well, did exceptionally well,
I'm told Hunt was named Neville Hunt, and Duarco was Moses Duarco. Katabali, Katabali, I remember that name, Katabali.
Right.
We're getting some help from our viewers too, so yes. And let me take a boast here. June Griffith was Buxtonian, or is Buxtonian?
Yes, I know, of course I know June Griffith was Buxtonian. I met her a couple of times well, and she was always proud of our Buxton origins. You understand? And she's married to Collison.
Okay.
She's married to Collison, yes.
Okay.
And they have a son that played in the NBA. Not a son that played in the NBA, the NBA Basketball Association for a couple of years. Well, well-known teams, you know. Yeah, so you had all those people, and I said they competed, you know, but for the unfortunate withdrawal of Guyana from the 1976 games, we would have been a gold medal. We would have been because Jilts was favored in the 200 meters. Yeah, he was favored in 200 meters. We would have been among the medalists long before we went to Moscow, where we got the bronze medal. We would have been a medalist. We had a 4x100 women's team and men's team that were highly competitive. But it was very unfortunate that we sided with the Africans in boycotting the Olympics. You know, and they say rest is history. We're still now struggling to gain another medal of any worth.
And I see, Mr. Jordan, as we're talking about, you know, these athletes, and we have to definitely look at the treatment after achieving these feats. Just recently, I saw a post going around about Terence Ali, and practically the way he has been treated by the government of Guyana. He's just there languishing, living in poverty, roaming the streets. I remember how much fight we had to fight for Sixhead Lewis to get recognition for his achievement. All of these things I dare say, and that you say parents are not encouraging their children to partake in sports, these extracurricular activities, some of us call them. I think it has a lot to do with when you look around the society and see how government treats with athletes and their sports ambassadors and so on. I can tell you, I talk this story ever so often. My son loves cricket. As he was coming up, he was a good cricketer. But I dissuaded him from following up cricket as against his academic. I actually had him registered at the Demerara Cricket Club. And in that first term, I saw a downward movement of his academic performance. And I said, "Boy, you got to choose between this and cricket. And I will choose for you. You got to focus on your academics, because the way sportsmen and women are treated in Guyana and even in the West Indies, you don't guarantee that your ability in sports will be able to take care of you in the future. So let me focus on the academics." I think a lot of parents are taking that stance when they look around and see how our government has been treating with sportsmen and women and sports in general. When you compare to countries like Jamaica and the other Caribbean islands and so on, I think they're really investing in their sports people. Really investing in their sports people. Right now, there's some young boxers. As we're talking, there's some young boxers camped out at the Sixhead Lewis gym. I think that's the penitentiary area, or we generally say Albaistown, right?
Yes.
And from observations, the treatment is not proper for sportsmen that you're preparing. Their meals are never on time. It appears as though all of them eating the same thing, you know, and stuff like that. How then can we achieve the level of success that we, at least citizens, would like to see, if enough is not invested in the preparations of these people, especially from the tender ages?
And I agree. And this is what, if you think carefully what I was saying, this is what I was alluding to, right? In many ways, when I was asking for comprehensive investigation into sports generally, because all of these issues will have to come up, and we have to find ways of how to address them. You know, rather than this eclectic approach to sports, where you upgrade a ground here and you build a sports center there or a community center there, and hoping that once you put these activities, once you put these infrastructure in place, that people will then gravitate to them and become gold medal winners and so on. That is not a recreational infrastructure is different from an infrastructure that is designed to produce winners at the top. It's different. You could have a recreational pool, but it's different from an Olympic pool, regulation pool, that somebody will have to be trained in continuously if they want to go beyond. You understand what I'm saying?
Certainly.
Right? You could have a football field, but it's not of the standard of the international play, international football, and for footballers to reach that international standard. So but just for recreational, just for meeting purposes and so on. And that's what we have been doing. We have not even understand where to situate these grounds. You wake up, and so everything, for short me on this government and the 20 years, is about politics. And politics is the worst thing to get involved when it comes to sports. None other than placing the only athletics track that you got at that time in Lenora.
Where you don't produce a lot of athletes.
You know, I mean,
and converting a ground in Linden to cricket, where you produce a lot of footballers.
You know, and you look, it's not to say that these different places not entitled to infrastructural facilities and whatever the case may be, but it's called priority and prioritizing, right? It is called priority and prioritizing the little resources that you may have, because it's always little resources that you have. It is always, no matter how big the resources are, it's always little. It cannot do. And so we have to be able to understand where all these problems come. This little girl again, I go back to Spring or something, or name, I understand somebody saying it's but they've got a little scholarship to some university and so on. But that is not the end of the government interest in her, because once she starts doing good times and so on, you can then run to have her represent Guyana. So we must have an interest in how she's doing academically, whether we're making any financial resources available to her, so that because even though you get a scholarship to a university doesn't mean it's a be-all and end-all. And you don't know what is the nature of the scholarship.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, what's saying? Sorry. Mr. Jordan?
Yes.
You see that question you asked about Springer there? I could sit down from now for the rest of the month and talk about the treatment that Springer is getting. You hear me?
Yes.
I don't want it to sound as terrible as it is, but for the greater part, that young lady is made to live off of handouts. Continue, let's talk.
Yeah, you see, there we go, right? But she's one of the brightest prospects we have of maybe say the Los Angeles Olympics. She's one of the brightest prospects. You know, I was going through the biography of Julian Alfred, and she did correct the game. She went, I think, to the under 20 games or whatever games you call and so on. I tracked her life story. When she wasn't making it in St. Lucia, she went over to Jamaica, and she went to school here, I think, for 3 years or something. You understand? I mean, what is CARICOM if we can't use each other's strengths? In this case, in the promotion of sports. Everybody knows that Jamaica is the mecca of athletics in the Caribbean, right? And perhaps Guyana now is the nadir of athletics. So why can't we look to Jamaica in assisting our athletes with potential? Even to go to school, just like Alfred went, even to go to school, there is some arrangement for them, a kind of athletic scholarship to Jamaica, where they will go to school there and then have their abilities honed and fine-tuned and so on and come back, and then get representation and so forth. I mean, now you have the financial resources which you can carefully utilize to make certain that you produce an athlete or two who at a minimum will get past the heats, the first round heats. That is my standard right now. Getting past the first round heats. I'm tired of hearing Guyana's athletes. And in lane 6 is Guyana, or lane 9 is Guyana, or lane 1 is Guyana. And that's the last time you hear about Guyana. That is the last time you hear the announcer calling the name Guyana. In what lane that they're in. I'll give you an anecdote before I come off of this one. In 1984, I was in England studying. And 1984, had the Los Angeles Olympics. And I was sitting down watching the Olympics. And one of my white students in the class says, He used to call me Caribbean man. He says, Caribbean man, look, they just announced somebody from Guyana. I said, man, sure, not Guyana? He said, no, Guyana. So I paid keen attention, and he was right. It was the 800 meters, and there was a guy from Guyana called Oslin Barr. Don't know if you remember that name.
No, I don't.
Oslin Barr. And thereof, and Oslin run to front. And so, being in front, Guyana's name was being called all the time. And I start like a jockey, like you know them guys who then the betting shop.
Go, Oslin.
I start rooting for Oslin because he jumped the front and he had a couple lengths in front of the pack. And then I look in for Oslin after the first lap. I can't find Oslin. Oslin not only went inside the track, you know, that was he followed. You follow, right?
Yes.
Follow out. When he followed, then over panting just for breath. After the first 400 meters, I shake my head and said, this can't be right. Never finished the 800 meters after the first lap, right? But I mean, and when I laugh, I said, since that time, since 84, I cannot get an athlete who will make Guyana proud. I think Allian Pompey might have gone past the first round in her race when she represented Guyana. I can't be sure, but I think she might have gone past the first round. But it is that difficult, imagine, just to remember a Guyana athlete at the Olympics who went past the first round. In recent times, I'm not talking about in the days of June Marshall Griffith and them. And in fact, even June Marshall Griffith, because she didn't get a chance to go to the Olympics, she was in the 1976 Olympics and she got scratched, like all the other athletes who were in there. But for me, on this one, I would say, look, the government has to request, may demand a report, because I think the report goes to the GOC. But the GOC goes to them for assistance, for all kinds of assistance, including duty-free and all kinds of story for the athletes to travel or waiver of the export tax and whatnot. And therefore, the government has a legitimate interest in finding out what exactly went on at these Olympics. And then the government should use as the basis of having some massive presidential commission or something with wide powers to investigate all sports in the country and come up with answers as to how we can improve the sporting, and then set benchmarks as to what will be our standard, our minimum, or progressive standards that we will require in certain, starting from maybe the Corista Games, the CAC Games, Commonwealth Games, and then the Olympics. You know, Pan Am Games, and then the Olympics. You know, so that we know it's not only about the inputs, the infrastructure, and the this and that, but it's also the output. And we have to have constant review and all this kind of stuff. So that is my thing. It's not that I criticize him. I am criticizing, but it's not that I criticize him without recommendations as to how we're going to be. We just cannot go now to Los Angeles or some airy statement that in 4 years' time we will we'll go to the World Cup play football, or in 4 years' time we produce a gold medal in Los Angeles and so on. It don't happen like that. And as they said, if two things were concerned, we will be ahead in the gold medal tally: talk and corruption. If those two were events at the Olympics, we would have been well ahead in the gold medal. So we don't want those kinds of gold medals. So let our athletes get a chance to breathe, but let this commission get to work, and maybe by the end of the year or the next year or something, you got a comprehensive report that can be discussed nationally and so on, and implementation can start sometime in 2025. That is my piece on it. You know, so the second piece I want to add, listen, is this business about the retroactive tax. You see, I yesterday I was on the road doing some business, and first of all, I'm amazed still the number of people who recognize me and hail me out. Stop cars, stop in traffic, going down the window. Hey, Mr. Jordan, you got that short pants? I said, well, short pants is not for me. But I said, no, it's doing a jest and so on.
I want to assume you're not me.
Yeah, well, I might have a little boat or something, but it comes in handy. Yes, and walking through the Avenue Main Street and so on, so many people stopped me and so on, and chatting and so forth, and I could see the nostalgia in their voices about when the coalition was in power, and I rolling up my eyes and so on. You never miss the water till you well run dry story. So the thing I'm getting at is that if the coalition government had engaged in a legislative activity, nay, a retrospective tax that was designed to hurt and harm rather than help and be beneficial, you'll never hear the end of it. And all the private sector institutions will come down and be like a ton of bricks. You imagine in this scenario where this administration puts in a retroactive tax, not one private sector body has made a single comment that I have seen.
Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, are you morning? Welcome to another program of the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. How have you been? How was I yesterday? How was I last night? What's going on for you today? What's your plan? What happened yesterday that make you optimistic today? I was informed of a particular jackass brain yesterday. But it's not every time you just got to follow up jackasses when they brain. A case of Pat telling Canary, bottom black. The ballad tyrant. Hola, doy. Emily Durant, good morning. Emily, I sent you a message 2 days ago. You haven't responded to me. What's going on with you, girl? Yeah? You want to talk with business in public? I'm a private man, I don't like talk everything in public. So respond to me in private quickly. Yeah. The fast bookers, according to them, must be wondering, is we talking about? I gotta call a money because I'm supposed to get some people on this program this morning, but I ain't see them yet. Good morning, sir. Where are your people? All right, it's only 7:20. Sorry, my bad. I'm just anxious. Good. Good. All right, good. So, morning, are you morning? We're going to have the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union talking with us this morning. At some point in time. Right, so we're going to be talking about what's happening over the credit union. I noticed they're advertising. What they're advertising by? They're advertising that thing. You know what the thing is? If I tell you how to work in magic these days, you won't believe me. When you see I looking till across the horizon, is it's a video screen I'm trying to share with you. It's kind of difficult right now, so leave it alone. Yes, they're advertising general meeting.
Region 4, the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union will be hosting its annual general meeting for the period 2021 to 2022 on Sunday, the 25th of August, 2024 for members of Region Number 4. The meeting will be convened at the Critchlow Labor College, Wolford Avenue at 10 hours. Members are encouraged to pre-register at bit.ly/GPSCCU AGM 2024 for further instructions on how to take part in the meeting and to vote for a committee of management. The meeting will take place both online and in person at various locations across the country. Full participation of members is encouraged. Let us move your credit union forward. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. People helping people.
Yes, that's what they're advertising. The Co-op Credit Union AGM is coming up on this Sunday for Region 4. Well, it's all the region, but this advertisement is specific to Region 4. Norris King, Norris, if you can hear me, I want you to call me right now because here what it's Free Talk Friday. And I know you're a man on the ground. You're still with the AFC in Linden? Or which party are they with in Linden now? I got to ask, because Guyanese got away a jumping ship like you and Sparrow said Dean and Dino. Good. Today they with this party, tomorrow they with that party, the next day they with the other party. Norris can call me 6225933. Let's talk about what's happening in Linden. It's Free Talk Friday, and I really want you to talk to me about what's happening in Linden because I see a lot of craziness going on in Linden. Was it you? No, I lie. It was Fredco, right? I don't know if those people on the program know Fredco, but Fredco is a popular man in Linden. Fredco taken me to the office of Gasper, right? Back in the years, and he had introduced me to Gasper as a EFC man. Good. Now I see Gasper is over at the PPP drinking soup and misbehaving, right? Holding back development in Linden. So I want a man like Norris King because Norris King, he like me, his mouth is unbridled. He can start his story as he sees it, right? I want Norris King to tell me what's going on over in Linden, especially with Gasper. It is a sickening thing. I'll tell you honestly. It is a sickening thing because of the fact that even I have no problem who want to join which political party and who want to support who. But I always say, like I said in Buxton, for me, Buxton, issues concerning Buxton must be upfront and foremost. Let us deal with our community issues first. And then you could talk to me about political allegiance, which political party you belong to and which political party you belong to. I can't understand. Clinton Hollingsworth, you could call me to 6225933. Y'all sit down on this program and y'all talk to me. People want to know what's going on in Linden. All Linden has got so soft. I got one man named Gasper holding up development for the people of Linden. Right? I don't understand it. Like I said it months ago. I don't care which political party you want to join as a BUXTONIAN. I would love you to join the WP. I would love you to support the WP. If not the WP, some coalition party, some opposition party. Definitely not the PPP. But even if you join the PPP or any other opposition party, whatever, just understand that charity begins at home. We have a responsibility as a people to take care of our homes and our communities first. And so that is what we should be concerned about. What is good for our homes and our communities? Let me tell you something. When you all sit down at these round tables to make these decisions based on instructions given by the wicked intent of those in the PPP, they are not the ones suffering in your communities. It is your people who are suffering in your communities. And so I can't understand a man like Gasper sitting down as what was it? Tom Clark. And giving Sharma Solomon and others in the Linden Town Council and Bureau's office and wherever, a tough time all the time. A matter as simple as garbage removal, which will freshen up the air, as I would like to say, for the citizens of Linden, the residents of Linden. Gospel giving people hell over. Y'all know where Gospel live? Dump garbage in front of Gospel house. The same garbage that is affecting you, do it by day, do it by night. I don't care how you do it. Dump them in front of Gospel house. And y'all might want to believe that I just talk these things loosely. I really and truly believe that sometimes you have to become extreme for people to understand that what they're doing is bull. I ain't got no problem with Gospel as an individual, I would hope. Because when Fredco introduced me to Gospel, at the time, both of us, or all three of us, were in the business of internet phone calls and so on. And so Gospel was trying with photography at the time, if I remember. Right? Photography and internet calls and so on and so forth. So we had a business relationship. We used to talk based on business and so on. Right? But politics and community development, it's a burning shame. I'm ashamed of brothers like these when I see they behave in a certain way. I really am ashamed. As people like to say, it always takes one of us, or they always take one of us to say it is one of us. That might be true. But why do we always have to make ourselves available? Why do we always have to make ourselves available to people who we know want to mash our people down into the ground? You mean, you know the harm, you know the dangers that they represent, and you're going to still take their instructions? Huh? Anyhow, it looked like Norris and Hollingsworth, them probably want to talk this morning. When you see some them and Gospel must be good friend, they must just sit down and knock bottle at table together. You don't want to lose a little pork some Gospel, eh? Because the usual thing in the communities, when these black brothers drinking soup at the PPP table, they usually just get something, a little droppings to drop around the community to influence others to go and join them at the PPP table. Good morning, Odinga Lobombo. How you do? I hope you are much improved in health. I remember Odinga Lobombo used to call a good morning. You see, sometimes that's why I like me out. Because when you talk, people just react. They just want to protect their integrity. All this boy said, you don't mix your up in a nonsense. You're drinking no soup.
even though I was tuned in there, I didn't hear your invitation. I heard when you called Norris. So I was waiting for Norris King to join. Anyway.
So just let finish this thing about Odinga Lubumba, and then we're going to talk about what happening with Linden in Gospel. I remember Odinga Lubumba in his heydays, as we like to say. Used to pass through Boxer every now and again and drop a case of beer for them boys. There's a particular shop on the Boxer line top. That's PPP affiliated to. Well, Lubumba would stop. Well, there were several shops around the community, to be fair. That Lubumba would stop, but when you see the boys in the corners, you go and, hey, I left some money for you, drink some beers in there. Right? A mouth is bridled by the food it eats or the beer it drinks. Right? And so when Lubumba wanted people to do whatever his bidding was, it was easy for him to come into the community and say, hey, let me go to town. Hey, let me go to town. I got things I do. Right? Yeah. That is what they do. They sit at the PPP's table and they plan how to conquer black people through these slave catchers. Gasper is another slave catcher. It is alleged that Lomoma said to the PPP, all black people like his loud music, some cook up and beers, and you got them where you want them. It is alleged that another person tell the PPP not so long ago, go to the churches, work with the churches, and you're going to conquer black people. Right? And the talk then was, if I only realize the impact that the church had on black people's lives, we would have gotten into the churches long ago. Right now, they're even in the faithist church, if you call them that. But yes, Hollingsworth, thank you for taking my invitation. Tell us what happened in there with Linden and Gasper, and why you can't deal with Gasper and let Gasper get an awakening.
Okay, so Kadaki, you hit the hammer on the nail. Now, this is just what Odinga Luboma was doing in Buxton. This is what is happening around the country at Linden. Now, in the days, the Green Valley, Victory Valley, okay, was a place where people were afraid to go. The PPP was afraid to even travel into Linden. Ministers and members of the PPP back in the days were afraid, much less to go into the valley, because some of the most brutal men came out of the valley back in the days. Now, some of those same men are now in the PPP's pockets because they use the most senior slave catchers to influence those men. Now, those men are getting contracts from the PPP. So all of a sudden, the focus of looking out for the community and a shift to looking out for self. Now, when it comes to gospel, all right, it is alleged that when gospel was given the assignment as tongue jerk, all right, he was also given instruction to frustrate the council and to disagree with everything the council would have put forward, and this was revealed to the council, to the seniors in the council before Gasper was appointed. This was revealed. This was the information that was given to them by PPP functionaries at Freedom House. So what is happening there at Linden is, it was expected. Linden people attacking to y'all. All right? Don't look at this is my friend or my neighbor. Look at Gasper as an enemy of the people of Linden, because that is what Gasper is portraying himself as. Now, I was there in Guyana the other day when Conan and Theodore Adams organized the market folks to clean up that piece of area there where the garbage were being dumped. All right, the people decide, hey, if y'all gonna be the leadership, the force that's gonna clean up this place, then we working with y'all. The market folks come together, they buy paint, they buy the detergent and everything to clean up that market, and Gasper decided to come and open his big mouth to tell people what is illegal, when the dumping of the garbage there is illegal initially. That is enough to motivate the people of Linden to come out in their numbers. Look, Linden people is just like the BUXTONIAN people. When we come together, we're a force to be reckoned with. And I'm calling on the people of Linden to come together, to come out and stand against Gasper and demand that the PPP remove the evils from the council. Look, all the statutory meetings that are, and I'm encouraging folks to follow Ms. Vanessa Kisul, who broadcasts statutory meetings from the Mayor and Town Council. Follow the Mayor and Town Council page, follow Sharma Solomon, and you will be able to have a sense of what I just said when I tell y'all that Gasper was sent to Linden to frustrate the council, to stymie every project that the council has planned here. All right? Simple. Gasper, it is alleged that Gasper is telling the garbage men them on the tractor not to go and pick up the garbage from the market area, which the people have a perfect system, Kadaki. I don't know if you know about it. The market folks, along with Conan and the rest, the highlighter he's known as, came up with a system where we're going to put our garbage in bags. We're going to keep it at our business establishment. That's the market area. And at 4:30, we're going to walk the front when the tractor passing and throw our garbage in the back of the tractor so that we don't have a pile up of garbage overnight. Because what was noticed, all right, what the market folks come to realize, that all the business in the surrounding community, even the Chinese stores and the far-off business and some residents, just like Georgetown, are paying these, I don't want to say junkie, but paying these men that are willing to work for odds and ends to go under the cover of darkness and throw all the garbage in front of the market and have the place looking terrible. And Kadaki, let me tell you, the garbage is right at your computer screen, and people are applying their trade just where you're sitting. All right, so the market folks started to get sick from that garbage. Now, tell me, in God's name, Linden, after such a great system was put in place, and Gasper, I want I-5 on the road and shake your hand and smile with, is trying to knock that system out. Linden is pushing tourism. Now, we've seen tourists coming to Linden, Kadaki. Don't let me take over your show, but we see tours. People are now planning tours from the city to come and visit Linden. This is a great idea to clean up so that when these tourists come, they're not just coming and see the Blue Lake, see the water wheel in Christianburg, and, cross the river, but they're now coming to spend some money in your market. You have to make your environment welcoming for tourists to come and dwell amongst the people. The money these tourists spend shouldn't just be what they're paying the tour group that is bringing them, but they should be able to come and buy the little knickknacks in the market. But Gasper is there stymieing everything. The people put forward a proposal for a little warden, okay, to hire more people. They put forward proposal to raise the salary because the workers in the town salary are below the minimum wage. The people put forward these proposals and Gasper is blocking them. Till now, it's alleged that people who would have done work for the town committee can't get paid because Gasper is refusing to sign these documents. Linden, y'all need to come out and get rid of Gasper. And I agree with what Kadaki said. Put the garbage in front of the damn gate. When he wake up, the tractor must come there and make many trips. All right, make many trips trying to remove those garbage in the cover of night yard, put it in front of the yard. Put it in front of the yard, man. The people in the street don't get fed up here and try and want to chase him out. Kadaki, they will take one of us to say it was one of us. And that is what is happening there at Linden. All right? I don't know if I've given you the information you
Yes, certainly. At least the people are, I would think, more aware now of what is happening over there in Linden. Like you say, the PPP now over the years with our money and so on has been finding out, paying attention to where the strongest source of resistance is in the African Guyanese community, and they get one of us and they send them directly to the source, right?
Of course,
send them directly to the source. I can tell you all a story about African spirituality and Hindu and Muslim spirituality and so on. I remember talking to an elder, a faithist elder on the west side. Thanks to it's Norris King uncle, Lennox King. Lennox King introduced me to a lot of people around this country and in this society. The man was a man among the men. And I was introduced to this elder. And one day I went to visit, just passing through the area and stopping to check in. And the elder we were talking and we ended up talking politics. I say, when you have to lose the election, man. Because when them win the election, they pay homage. I bet you that since Ali win the election, he don't kill 4 bullets at each corner of this Guyana. Good? Because they know what their spirituality is and they respect it and so on. They dishonor it. Black people just duck and hide from theirs. So somebody sent me some information recently showing me that the PPP is putting up another jumbie board somewhere at another roundabout.
Somewhere over the west side.
And was explaining to me, I honestly mean him those way, but I know I get it. I was saying, you see the ball what a jumbie board standing on or eagle whatever is in there the thing there. And the PPP so far has been able to put up these things, I think, north, south, and east now. There's one other area, or one other, what we call it, geographic point, I would call it, that they have to put up another one to lock down Guyana. So the question that came to my mind right away, what happened to all of these faiths? What happened to African spirituality? If we know these things, why we can't deal with these things? I grew up hearing that if people get wickedness some way, throw steel piss on them. go there and piss on them steady, spit on them, throw blood on them, and all them kind of thing. So what happened to these faiths? And they said believe the skill and believe the skill. I believe in African spirituality. They said the farmers were, the plantocracy was afraid of African spirituality, voodoo, whatever they were, and so forth. Well, we are not practitioners of these things anymore that can conquer whatever the enemy is trying to do to oppress us. Yeah, talk to me. This is a conversation I want to have this morning. We got about 18 minutes to talk about it. Right? Likewise, when you got folks in your community who operating like the devil and demon themselves, what happened to African spirituality? You know what to do with them? Janet Jackson, they run out of office when black people, they're there in the streets marching with a coffin. And a daddy dressed up like Janet. And then they're singing, "We Gonna Walk Punch." You remember the Marlins one?
Yep. Clearly.
So what happened? Janet Jackson was afraid of African spirituality then. You mean nobody in the PPP in fact no? Because they buy out all them faiths and all them faiths tell them what to do. All them faiths take the energies and carry it and give the 1st or 2nd of August whenever they had the dinner at State House. Come on. Y'all gotta let people stop harvesting y'all energies. Go ahead.
I gotta run, but I wanna say something. All right. I wanna say, Gudaki, I'm gonna leave this. I don't wanna put this out here right now, but I want Guyanese to watch at what is happening, right? The PPP has a program there where they're rolling out and they're doing streets left, right, and center across the country. That is an election move. Doreen Adams would have put out some pictures. That's the regional chairman of Linden of some streets that these people would have done. Kedaki, I wouldn't do that to my enemies. You hear me? People, when these people come into your community, just don't watch them work and say, well, yeah, they put in streets because we never had streets down these roads. All right? Ensure that what you're getting, your grandchildren can enjoy it. Ensure that I was there at Linden the other day, Kedaki, and now my street has never been done. I've been walking on sand for years. Until now, we were seeing erosion. Over the years, we would have lost about 5 foot of sand. 5 foot of that street would have washed down into the Demawara River. Now they're coming to put concrete strips or concrete streets, so they call it. Now they gave 2 contractors this one street to do, which I think is nonsense. Now you see one contractor is doing the job coming down. When you think these people were going to join the cross street so as to accommodate the flow of water coming down the hill to catch onto this other street that they're doing to ensure that the water doesn't undermine that new road that they're doing. These people, Kadaki, I had to talk personally to the contractor. When I brought it to his attention, the contractor said, boss, I think it's 80 foot now. It's 80 foot they give you for doing the engineering plan, said bring the street straight in. I said, but if you look, this cross street that is running that you're coming across, the water is gonna come down and undermine yours. By the afternoon when they finish working, it rained, Tadaki. When they come back the next day, all the farm boards and everything that they put down, they have to redo that because just what I told them was gonna happen, it happened with the farm board. The water came down and washed away all the sand. Now, don't come into my community and give me road. Linden, I'm talking to you. Guyana, I'm talking to you. Don't let these people just come and give you what they want to give you. You people are like the engineers in these communities. Y'all know what has happened when it rains, where this water does run, where the water does come from. Y'all know if they don't do X, why it gonna happen? Come out as a community. We would have seen this happen in other community across Guyana, where the community, the people came up and said, don't do my street if you can't do it correctly. Guyana, we got to come back together. We got to start working in the interest. All right. Even if it's not the interest of ourselves, do it for your children and your children. Leave some proper legacy. Because I could tell you this, Kadaki, I could live with my son's streets. You hear me? Because it come back. But it's always, we would always welcome improvement, in our environment. All right. So if they come in and give you our streets, if they're coming in, whatever they're giving y'all make sure they do it properly. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're doing these things because they have to do it. When you go to these Indian villages on the coast, East Coast, West Coast, you see a proper street from drain to drain. Why are you allowing them to come into the African community and giving you something just to last until the next election is over? Demand the best from these people. You deserve the best. I just tell my Guyanese people, become discontented when it comes to what you're entitled to. When it comes to your government, regardless of which government is in power, become discontented. All right, they come and give you street after where the shoulders for these streets there, where the drains for these streets, where the water gonna run off and go ask these questions, demand these things. You're entitled to it. We are sitting, excuse my language, but we're sitting on a shitload of money. And now, I personally believe the PPP don't do anything for Guyana unless there is something in it for them and their ministers. A little blind left in a corner for them, where they get 2-3 million in the office, and when they get catch, they say they hard-earned money. So y'all demand the best from them because they're still walking around with duffel bag with money sharing out to give people. That is remedy for thieving. Because there's no accountability. Thank you, Kadaki, and I'm off to work.
Thank you for joining me, boy. At least you gave us some information there that we needed out of Linden. So, y'all, I guess you have a clear understanding of what is happening in Linden. What you don't understand is the photos on the screen, I'm sure. Right? I ain't calling name. I only putting up photos. And y'all see this one came from Melissa Ann Atwell. Melly Mel, as they call her. Look at that house. According to Melly, Mel is a well, I was about to say billion. Right? This is supposed to be the property of an ordinary public servant who started working as a First Lady press officer, I think, since the PPP has been in government 4 years. 4 years. I am betting that this young man inherited wealth, generational wealth, like Ali did. Is another Ali equation, right? Remember, Ali claimed that he had inherited generational wealth. when he acquired the Gaisuko property and so on and so forth, where his pool house is bigger than a home that the average Guyanese can build on one little piece of land that the government allocates. I remember that. But I'm sure this young man here has been given the same opportunity. He too inherited generational wealth. You can't blame them. But you could blame yourself as a citizen for sitting back and watch this indecency continue year in, year out. And a lot of us come here and we defend them, and people still go and vote for them. That is what you can blame yourself for. Good? I am praying. Y'all don't know I'm praying. I am praying. Y'all might believe I'm not a praying man because of the stock, but the problem with the Christian church and the problem with faithists, and like I got problem with everybody that I got to do with religion, because I don't think there's lived the religion. Right? I know to say religion. Spirituality and religion is two different things. Yes, GT Starboy, it is an apartment complex. And there's several of those apartment complexes around the country. In every scheme you go, in every newly developed scheme that the PPP has, or the PPP announces that they're developing this area as a housing scheme to hand over land to people, you take a walk in and you're going to see the prime spot. The prime spot in those housing schemes. On every prime spot, you're going to find either business. You got all of them in business or apartments. That's what you find on the prime spots. The prime spots are given to their friends and cronies or the front men, even before ordinary citizens. Even before ordinary citizens are allocated land. I understand I got a man named Tasmin. I think that's the name, Tasmin, who's Irfanali's front man. I spoke about that guy years ago, maybe since 2020 or 2021, thereabout. And I was talking about him, I think, in relation to the Amazonia Mall. The Amazonia Mall. There's some projects in that area that were stopped, halted, once the coalition went into office. All work ceased in them. Nothing was happening. As they say, the owners and operators were lying low. Right? But as soon as the government changed, as soon as the Yard regime changed, it became hustle and bustle again. And the name that I had gotten at the time as Ali's front man, because it is believed, it is alleged that a lot of the things there belong to Ali, acquired while he was Minister of Housing. So a lot of the lands, those prime lands and so on, were appropriated or misappropriated, allegedly, while he was Minister of Housing. And the name of the gentleman who they say is the front man is Tasmin. I think there's a name I remember. So when you look around this country and you see in every housing scheme, or in every new developing housing area, one of those indecently, I don't know how to describe them, but those buildings that are standing out compared to the ordinary man and woman, high rises and what they call them, roof gardens and so on. His friends and cronies of the PPP, they gave them those things, the land there, and that prime spot to put apartment or some other form of business. Y'all understand that? So those things don't surprise me. I mean, the society is now becoming aware of the names associated with some of those. It is alleged that Sitariga got a big apartment complex in Cummins Lodge. Right? Cummins Lodge, yes. Some might call it Ogle, but in that stretch there, Cummins Lodge, Ogle, that area there, they're contiguous. It is alleged that Sitariga got a big apartment complex there. So a lot of them in the government, in the PPP, they have been investing in apartment complexes because either they were listening to me or they were thinking like I have always been thinking. Accommodation is the way to go in this oil producing economy. Y'all can't remember me saying it? I tell y'all, do up all them bottom house, raise them little house, put in the bottom, modernize your house to, your property to whatever extent you can, and prepare them for rental. Because accommodation is the way to go. You have an oil producing economy, the fastest growing economy according to them. People are going to be coming to the fastest growing economy. And they must sleep somewhere. They must eat somewhere. They must look for entertainment somewhere. So those are businesses to get involved in. Accommodation, food, and entertainment. Trust me, man. I don't have all the resources to do it in a flash. But I've been doing it for more than half of my life. I've been gradually developing businesses along that line because I recognize the value in that. And I'm not a selfish one. I don't care. I don't say it's all about me. You ask my colleagues at college and university and school and everything, I'm always willing to help somebody along because I don't believe that if you get an A, I can't get an A. I believe all of us can get A's. So all of us can succeed together. And that makes a stronger community if all of us succeed. So I am saying this morning, hey, I ain't hating on nobody for building apartment buildings. I'm encouraging my people to take an example from them, recognize where the money is. But I'm not saying to follow their pattern of acquiring in terms of stealing and defrauding the nation. One dirty build down, brick by brick by brick. We can get there. And so I said, I am praying. Y'all don't know how I'm praying. I'm praying for this government to change. And I'm praying that the people will replace them. We'll have the gall. We'll have the gumption to dig and dig deep. Dig and dig deep. And if your income doesn't match your assets and you can't show where you get this capital to construct properties like those off of a public servant income, then they must be confiscated. Confiscated, auctioned off, or used as government property. I am praying, and it would be my biggest disappointment if when this government changes, we don't have people with the heart, the gall, the gumption, the bravado to go after these criminals. White-collar criminals. So take an example from them. Yes, the example is accommodation is a good place to invest. Real estate is a good place to invest. Real estate, you don't lose, unless you're stupidly bad. Right? You don't lose unless you're stupidly bad. Good? Invest in real estate. Develop your properties. The extra room, you get turn it into Airbnb. the downstairs you get that, that is since I was a boy, brick by brick, block by block. Improve it. Somebody is going to be looking either for low, medium, or high cost accommodation. Invest in you. Invest in your community. Don't be bitching. Encourage your leaders to be bitching though. Encourage them that when this thing change, they must be prepared to dig and dig deep. In the last coalition government, the WPA had proposed to the Granger administration the State Asset Recovery Agency, or what became the State Asset Recovery Agency. The WPA had advised the Granger administration that so much of Guyana's wealth was stolen by the PPP operatives while they were in government, that some efforts at recovery must be made. And that gave birth to the State Asset Recovery Agency, SARA. And while they can't tell you in a public way all of the work that SARA did, I remember informing you because I had done an interview years ago with Retty Meyer, who was, I think, the deputy director of SARA at the time, when the government changed. He had indicated some of the achievements of SARA. I always remember for a fact that SARA made people from Sparanam, Pradoville 2, going quietly and pay the market value of the lands that they had stolen and given to themselves at below market price. I hope that in our next government, we're going to be able to either resuscitate or recreate an agency such as SARA, with people who had a gumption to go and look for these white-collar criminals and take back Guyanese people property. The act provided for settlements to happen. In many instances, I don't think it provided for jail. I want to see the act change to jail some people for misappropriating public property. You see the U.S. sanction? When you see the U.S. sanction on the Mohammeds, one of the things it talked about, right, is, I'm trying to remember the exact word, but basically is the coveting of other people's property. Let me call it that. Right? We, as a government, must go after these people. I'm saying it. I'm saying it on behalf of the WP. I'm not saying it on behalf of the PNC. I'm saying it from where I sit. I am speaking here as Kidaki Amsa. I'm a citizen of this country who've been observing the corrupt practices of the PPP. And I'm saying that any government after the PPP has a duty, I dare say a sacred duty, to recover for Guyanese what belongs to Guyanese from these kleptocrats. So while we wait for the change of government and we work hard for the change of government, I'm telling you again, don't bitch. Look at what they're doing. Because I usually say where you see a lot of a certain kind of people money there, follow them. but do it the legal way. You'll get there eventually. And if you do it legally, you know that you'll get to keep it to pass it on to your next generations. But if you only do it illegally, can't eat your dinner. The lines are open. It is 8:05. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Call and let's talk the thing. Right? And by the way, let me recognize, hey, Chisel Chipper. I see you in the cash app. You're the only man in the cash app for this morning. So I hope others take an example from you, just as I'm encouraging them to take an example from the white-collar criminals and build apartment complexes and so on, accommodation. Right, Chisel Chipper, big up yourself, man. Y'all join Chisel Chipper. Remember the cash app is $KAMSTV. And the Zelle is 862-373-5187. Right? 862-373-5187 in the name of you at Downer. Good? Call and let's talk the thing. The lines are opened. Like some of y'all still sleeping though. Because nobody ain't calling, nobody ain't sending me no as well. So yeah, I'll do so bye. Yeah. What are you doing? Hello. Don't be disrespecting Guyanese like this. Right? Don't be disrespecting your people. I mean, the administration and government bring Guyanese into disrepute with their behavior and so. But don't join them and do it, man. This is what a certain person says the medal won by Guyanese. Yeah. At the Olympics, Paris. Call it live. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kadaki and the listening viewers in Guyana here and around the world. I always said that I would like to see you got a space at the table, especially in that asset recovery program. And the first thing we must look at is these buildings that these people acquiring and what they put up, take it back. Make homes so the people that sleeping in the streets, let they occupy these buildings and like a Elton shelter and stuff like that. These people is ridiculous. Another thing, this water. I watched Sheikh Bash talking about this water situation and everything that he talk is garbage. In this time, when we have this oil money, a lot of Guyanese ain't catching themselves up to now. Mr. Granger never had this kind of big money to spend, but he was adequately taken care of as Guyanese. And everybody, all nation, had equitable amount at the pie. And we gotta look at these things because where all this oil money going? Where it going? There's a question that everybody need to answer. Where it going? And I don't understand how Guyanese is sitting down and allow this nonsense to go on all the time. We gotta do something. Thanks for the time and have a blessed day.
Thanks for the call. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Call and let's talk the thing. Let me remind you, of course, that CAMS TV, the Society for African Guyanese Empowerment, and the 1st of August movement is bringing to you Sunday, the 25th of August, the Business Expo, Business and Cultural Expo. Is going to be held at Benjamin's Lawns. Tipuri Hall. Yes, we're inviting you to come down. Exhibitors are welcome. Call 6827981. 6827981. Call or WhatsApp for further information as to how you can participate as an exhibitor, right? And those of you who are interested in participating, it's advisable that you get registered by the 20th so that we can streamline everything for the 25th. And I'm advising that you get registered even long before the 20th, because from Monday, we're going to start a feature. We're going to start to feature some of those businesses that have registered on our morning program. So you're getting a lot of publicity. Listen, one day you're calling this program long enough to know why they mute your mic or stop me. Yes, what am I saying? Yes, you're going to get a lot of publicity. Your business is going to be promoted on Camps TV. And so I encourage you to get registered before the 20th so we can start to do some of those promos for you. Once you are a part of the expo on Sunday the 25th, again, your business will be promoted because we're going to be doing live coverage on Camps TV. And so people will know about you and your business. My advice is, once you come into the expo and in general as a business person, ensure you get business cards, calling cards, right? Brochures. Those are things that help to sell your business, because you're not just coming to the expo, let's say, to sell for the day. The hope is that you'll be able to come to the expo and you are going to be able to form business relationships with people, networking, right? So maybe you'll find a supplier there for your raw products. Maybe you'll find a buyer there for your finished products. And that is what we're hoping to promote through this Business and Cultural Expo. Why Cultural Expo? Those of you who have talents, come to the center stage later in the evening and present your talent. So people will see your talent. And again, work with your brochures and your call cards so that people can get information and hire you as necessary. Right? The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. Yes, Rhonda, I cut you off because by now you've been calling the program long enough to know once you call, you mute your microphone. I can't understand how it is. If it is, you don't know how to mute your microphone up until now. It's just a touch of your phone. Good? And so and this goes to everybody, when you call and I'm trying to speak, I'm trying to deliver on something, and you have all of this distraction in the background, then it's pressuring me. It's pressuring me. According to Jack Dio, I'm a geriatric. Because I understand that this press conference or wherever you want to know is how many geriatric homes they went into to find these WPA people and so on and so forth. So I gotta be a geriatric. You gotta get consideration for geriatrics. People make the word geriatric sound so bad. Imagine a geriatric cussing out geriatrics. But telling can be bottom black. But I'm not a geriatric thief. And those of us sitting at the WPA executive, we ain't geriatric thieves. I challenge Agio to say the same. Call it live.
Kadaki, good morning. Whenever I call into the program, I just mute my phone. This is not the first time I mute. I got me on the phone there and seeing you. I could read the comments. Yeah. Now this morning, I know of an African couple that is in this country 5 years now. The husband is a priest and the wife is here. They gave the husband a work permit and the wife has been going to get her status upgraded. She got the first child in Guyana. She's on the second pregnancy. and going to get registered. Up to now, that cannot happen. She went there the last registration and they told her that she cannot meet the requirements. So even if it's off air, Kadaki, I would like you to give me some advice so that I could pass it on to her. Now with these buildings and things that keep going up is okay. But the type of buildings that are going up, the foundation, it isn't properly, and all kind of things. Those buildings may be a disaster waiting to happen. Now, all over the building roads right now, they put the latest is roundabout. So they put a roundabout at the junction, where you're coming off the first turn by Chicom on the west coast. That was a narrow road, and they make a roundabout. Now, when you're traveling on this roundabout, you, a person who using the road, you could see that I pray that disasters don't happen there, because to come back on the straight road, coming back on the straight road in a circular turn, a complete circular turn, then to get on the straight road. So because they put this roundabout right in the turn. So that is one of the things that we have to face. But the water supply, we ain't getting it so bad here. But when you walk along the road, you see a lot of broken hydrants and things. And when the water is down, the same dirty water that comes up from the mud, sucking back into the pipes. So you see we're getting, everybody cannot afford to buy water to drink. Because some people complain that buying those same big bottles, they're finding sediments. Because the people drawing the same dirty water and putting it in bottle, and when the water settles, it's the same dirty water you get it. So I don't know what really they're doing. And the thing you talk about the recovery program, I pray that I could sit on the program too, because I want reclaiming. That is one of the main reasons why they removed Trevor Ben from lands and mines. Because they know that with somebody like Trevor Ben, they could not have performed this skullduggery that they are performing now. But what gotta happen, all those lands that they are taking away from the rightful owners must be returned to the rightful owners. Because once you establish that you are the owner, you did not do a sale of land. You don't have a sale to show that you transfer this piece of land to another person via sale. So once you were the owner of the land, whenever new government come in, we should go and reclaim all those lands and return it to the rightful owners, because it isn't fair for you to get those things or you work with, and then to see other people taking it away and then telling us that we are no good. No, we gonna get it back. So that is my thing, and I hope I can be given an advice on how to get this thing. Imagine those people 5 years in Guyana, and up to now, the wife cannot get a paper, she cannot get an ID card, and she's second pregnancy. So I don't know, and she's black. So I don't know what they are going to say about our children that are being born in Guyana. Because many people will go to the States, if they go travel at 9 months pregnant, get the child out in the States, and let the child become a North American citizen. But you would here will live here all the years. I don't know what's going to happen with the woman children. So that is my comment this morning.
Thank you for your call.
The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. I'm reminded that Nigel Hughes, our senior counsel, made a post last night about how great things are in this oil producing country. The fastest growing economy of the world. I want you all to see it there. You see that? And I know how to do this thing. From a distance, God is watching us. Yes, I did mention to you guys that I have a certain difficulty. My monitor died on me. The monitor that I usually use to do the second screen. Anyhow, but this is Philippi School. And that's a beautiful building, isn't it? Kudos to the PPP. I want PPP constructed it anyhow. But I rather suspected it's PPP constructed it. Because any school building that was constructed under the APNU AFC was constructed with the proper amenities. Let me call them that. Proper facilities. So this is Philippi. And Nigel Hughes went into that area and he had some revelation. That is a washroom facility. That is the washroom facility that our indigenous children are made to use, and I dare say teachers too. Why? Oh God, why? Because they're living in the interior? How? Why? Because they're indigenous? Just as how the PPP kept them, quote unquote, backward over the years they were in office by just giving them a monthly grant for some community, something officer, CSOs, I think they call them. And then the coalition went into office and changed. And the coalition did wonders by giving every one of them a skill. Yet still, the PPP masquerades around and say the coalition did nothing for them. But here is the PPP doing for them. Pit latrine. Shithouse. That's what we used to call it. Outside toilet. In 2024, in the fastest growing economy, oil producing Guyana, where hundreds of millions of US dollars are collected on a daily basis. In fact, billions are collected on a daily basis. This is the respect, this is the love, this is the care we got for our people. Oh, it won't cost half or quarter of the thieving from the public servants and from the permanent secretaries, all of them right down or right up to build a proper ablution block at this school. It wouldn't. Not only is it indecent because it's an outside shithouse, but even the boards that they use for building this outside shithouse, they couldn't put close enough to give the people some privacy. Yeah? I wonder if they provide toilet paper or if these folks got for use leaves because they're living in the interior. Yeah, watch this nonsense here. Shame on the PPP. Shame on all of you who like to sing the praises of the PPP. Just shame. Miranda said Guyanese should live in 20 by 20 house. I guess she's saying Amerindians should relieve themselves in pit latrine, aka shit houses. Donald Trump, according to Tony Jackson, Tory Jackson had the best description for us here. This is a shithole country. Eslen Harris, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Kadaki. Good morning to your viewership. How are you doing?
I'm good. Like they abandon you. Where the rest of them there?
Nah, not at all. Probably on the way in. On
Okay.
their way in.
The one thing I recognize when you guys have to come on to Camps TV, it has been late and so. But here when the members of the Guyana Public Service Corp Credit Union apply for their money, let's get it on time. Let's get
All
it quick.
right. All right.
So
So we got the one right.
no hard feelings. At least you get one right. You got your priorities right.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
All
Correct.
right, so
Correct.
tell
How
us
are you
what's
doing,
happening
though?
over the credit union there. I noticed you got AGM coming up and so on. So talk to
Yes,
us.
yes, certainly. And so, Kadaki, we have our annual general meeting. And so, the annual general meeting, the name speaks for itself. And so, we are expected to host an annual general meeting every year once we would have completed the audit. And so, let me back up a bit. You would recall we had a special general meeting only in March, and that was specially designed for a special reason. I don't want to rehash what transpired. Court ordered special meeting. And so we are going into our annual general meeting because we have been audited for the years 2021 and 2022. And so a lot of members are asking, annual general meeting? Why an annual general meeting? And so the annual general meeting, it creates that platform for us to congregate as members far and wide. First, to really interact in an intimate way. I like to say to members, you have an opportunity to delve into the financial statement. You must know what we're using your savings for. And so you have an opportunity to dissect that statement, to ask questions on the spot of your committee of management members. You also have the opportunity to rise to the floor and make suggestions, make recommendations, to say to your members, some of the things perhaps that you're a little upset about, probably assist them in chartering the course going forward. But more importantly, the opportunity allows you to elect your committee of management. And so members ought to know that the annual general meeting is not only a meeting of sorts. It's important. That's the first thing. And so it's the place where you can go and sound your voice, let your voice be heard. Only yesterday we were in Region 3, and I was saying to the members, a lot of members, oh, Miss Harris, we just come out from a meeting, and so why an annual general meeting? I said, listen, you would want to know about your dividend. And so come out and understand how your dividend is being computed. Come out and understand what amount in terms of dividend you're entitled to and where the dividend goes. And so we shouldn't just, relax and say, oh, my, don't worry. If you're supporting Team Ben get this. No, come out and support Team Ben on the spot. And we have 10 meeting sites. Some people call it polling stations, 10 meeting sites. And so if you don't want to be there in person, you can be there virtually. But it's a very, very important meeting where you hear from the chairman, where can hear from the vice chair, the secretary, and the committee members. Yesterday a member said to me, Miss Harris, I got 2 suggestions I want to make in terms of new products. And while the suggestions were shared with me, I said, listen, these are very good suggestions, and I want to implore that you come out and you share it. I am sure your fellow members would buy into it. And so that is the platform, that is the setting, I like to call it a general assembly, where we relaxed and we can share with our committee of management.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure a lot of the membership would want to know what the audit reveals. Hey.
Yes.
And so indeed they should come down there or partake in the meeting, like you said, virtually.
Yes.
Good. I always ask about the requirement for participating in the meeting. what is required of members? What is the eligibility criteria?
Okay, and so you just simply have to be a member of the credit union, and you pre-register. We're really encouraging members to be pre-registered. You know, it would really reduce the timings for registration on the day. And let me say, the annual general meeting would be held on Sunday, the 25th of August, 2024. And so you simply have to become a member, you're a member, and so that allows you the opportunity to be a part of the process.
Good. So members, please get yourselves registered. The link to register is in the advertisement. I think it is bit.ly. You know it. You got it at hand, Esther. You can share to them.
Yes, I'll try to. Otherwise, I'll ask one of my colleagues to just pop it in for me. And you know, even on our Facebook page and our website, the link is there. It's in all your WhatsApp chats. We have WhatsApp groups for every region in Guyana, so it's all in the WhatsApp chats. But if any member is having a difficulty, you know, to register themselves, feel free to reach out to any one of the committee members. And what we find, members are so enthused, they're assisting each other. So by the time you pop it in the group, that look, I'm getting a difficulty, a member is on to you. A member is on to you. That is how eager and enthusiastic the members are.
Thank you. Let me ask you something, because I know the present committee of management has a lot of plans. What are some of the ideas that are going to be taken to this general meeting?
And so, Kadaki, thank you for that question. We have a suite of new loan products that we talk about, and let me say this, the suite of products came from the membership themselves. The issue of a guarantor loan was always a bugbear. And so we have a suite of new loan products that will be taken to the annual general meeting for the members to be able to adjudicate, for the members to be able to say, look, this is what we asked for, but I think we can tweak this a little bit. Because you find, for instance, the law says, the regulation says, in terms of issuing a loan, there should be a guarantor. You must have a guarantor. And so while these products were designed, the members at the annual general meeting would be given that right, that option, that forced response to see what we're launching. Mark well, the ideas came from the membership and to take it from there. But we know that members, they're calling all the time. They're anxious. They're wanting to inquire. They're inquiring rather. Are we taking all of the suggestions there? Yes, we are taking all of the suggestions you give to us today on your general meeting. And so we want to hear from you. This thing is a co-op, and members have a major input in what we do. And so that is why we'll be taking the suite of new products to the annual general meeting for the members to make that determination and decision.
Very well. I'm still waiting for you others. Is ready there, like we want tonight.
Yeah. Don't worry, you have me. Don't worry. They'll be coming.
Patrick Mentor is here.
Patrick you see what I mean?
Kidaki, you gotta stop this thing, you know. You're getting too big.
Hi there, man. I see you. I want to hear you.
I know want me the camera.
Like you're talking from the PPP.
The PPP don't do me anything, man.
You need to put on your camera, sir, and talk to us this morning about what's happening.
I'm looking to see what I gotta do.
Credit union there.
I'm trying to see.
In the words of Jack, you're like you're a geriatric boy. You don't understand the technology.
No, not. I like the geriatric. But I want to know a lot of people ain't gonna reach me age.
But you know, Kadaki, while Mr. Mentor or vice chair is finding himself wrong in terms of clicking that camera button, please allow me to not to introduce, neither reintroduce, because we know that the membership, they're aware of the present committee of management. And so, Team Ben, as it were, we will be going into elections again. And may I just remind, we have, man, the name Trevor L. Ben is so well known. And so, under the chairmanship of Trevor Ben, we were able to transcend borders. We were able to ride the waves. We were able to do so much with so little. You know, we say visionary leadership. This is not only a phrase, but this is a phrase put into action. And so we have Trevor Ben, we have Patrick Mentor, we have Rajdai Jaggernaut, who is our current treasurer. We have Mihaly McCalmont, and she hails from Berbice. We have our attorney at law, Christopher Thompson. And yes, we have Dr. Anderson. We have Vanessa Kissoon, who hails from Region 10. We have Kirk Fraser, who hails from Berbice also. We have Beverly Dijon. We have Judah Lewinsky. We have Candice Enmore, and yours truly, Eslyn Harris, who's the current secretary to that committee. And so, while members are familiar with us, we want to say, members, we want to maintain that intimate touch. The one good thing is that we are all only a phone call away. This team of persons that I've just outlined, these are people who first and foremost respect each and every member. These are people who you can call, members can call at any time. They call, they text, the message, they stop you in the market, and you can relate to them. These are people who can manage the resources of the credit union, has been managing for a couple of months, and we've been making inroads upon inroads upon inroads. And so you don't change what is not destroyed. As a matter of fact, we had a general meeting yesterday, and resoundingly, we had over 100 and probably 70 something persons, resoundingly, Team Ben. Team Ben, why? You don't turn away from good. Members are saying, first and foremost, they love the respect that is being given to them. They love the fact that we are not a mile away. We are just a phone call away. And so, members, I want to urge you, come out to the annual general meeting. You'll be able to put a face to a name. You'll be able to give a hug. You'll be able to interface. You'll be able to share. You'll be able to bring your ideas to the fore. You stand your own style and say how you just want to say it, you know? And so, annual general meeting, we're inviting each and every member. And if you're outside of Guyana, you still have that opportunity of attending. You can attend virtually.
And so let me ensure I heard right. At this AGM, we're going to be getting elections. Is it?
Oh yes, yes. Elections for the Committee of Management and the Supervisory Committee. Yes, it's all part. The elections of the Committee of Management and the Supervisory Committee is all part of the annual general meeting. It forms a part of the annual general meeting.
I've just gotten a little more curious. Is there anybody contesting against Team Ben?
Well, I believe we have. I think we received lots of nominations, and you know, one of the good things about this process is that anybody can be nominated. You can nominate yourself, and you know, you go forward. You're not restricted in terms of nomination, and so you can do that. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a process. The members, we say, go to the polls, and they decide who they wish to manage the affairs of the credit union for the next year.
Thank you again. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again. Patrick Mentor, you ready for us? Mr. Mentor? I tell you they're going to abandon you.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I hear you. You answer at least. I see face yet. But Patrick, tell us what's happening.
All right. As Lynn would have been saying, I
don't know what's happening. Are you there, sir?
I am
Hello?
here, but the camera, I don't know when of the camera. But
Just talk to us, man. We're listening. We could listen.
yeah, as my colleague will have been saying, she will have said, we have um, performed to the obligations required by law and by our members. We have organized this AGM, an AGM that has been 2 years in coming. And I must take this one in that it was an AGM that was not desired by our former colleagues. They preferred not to have the AGM. They went so far as to approach the ministry to have the AGM every 3 years. And of course, the ministry, when reminded about what the law requires, wanted no part of that dubious arrangement. Anyway, having said all of that, we've brought it to the point where our annual general meeting will be on the 25th, and it will be held virtually and in all of the regions, all 10 of the regions. We will have participation by our members in the regions. The other thing is that members in the regions can participate both virtually, which is online, and be there in person. And we intend to have a smoothly run annual general meeting. As Lynn will have mentioned also, in our meeting last evening, we got some, you got to say, some suggestions that came from the questions that were raised, and we have looked at those, and we will be considering them seriously. I don't know if Eslyn, in this short time that she had, if she was able to mention a few of the things that we have achieved at the credit union for the year. I am not aware, but I would like to, if I may go straight into that, I'd like to say that for the year, for 2024, we have approved 977 loan applications. We have disbursed the amounts applied for to the tune of over $667 million. And this is broken down if you look at gender participation. We have 726 females, and the males on the distaff side are 251 males. It suggests, there is a lot that can be derived from those figures. But we like to say that we have also disbursed and approved. We have approved and disbursed 191 secured loans. Those are loans that speak to housing and mortgages and vehicles. So we've been doing a lot, and we recognize that our members recognize the pathway of progress. They recognize that, and I am of the firm belief our members are very, very aware persons, and they would know where to put their confidence come August 25th. Yes, Lynn?
Yes, certainly, certainly, and like the brother I met earlier this year in the market, he said, and we ain't done yet. And so we have other achievements, if you may. And so we've launched a members WhatsApp chat portal where each member, regardless of the locale, is placed in the region. And within that WhatsApp chat or WhatsApp portal, you have a member of the committee of management, and you also have the regional representative for the particular region. And so it's easy. The communication flow is very, very easy. Decision making, assistance from afar is very, very easy. We've also turned the sod for a new branch office in New Amsterdam, Berbice. Look, that was long in the making. We have hundreds of members, or perhaps thousands, in Berbice. And so we've taken into consideration those members in Region 5 and Region 6, and we were able to acquire a piece of land, and we will be constructing, I dare say, a state-of-the-art building so our members could access products and services rather than traveling to Georgetown. We've also intensified our outreaches and engaged with members in Morocco for the very first time. And so the reception received in Morocco was phenomenal. And it says to us that because of the landscape of Guyana, they have members and prospective members who want to join the credit union, but because of the limitation in terms of travel, but we are happy that we were able to make that trip to Morocco. And another thing that we do is that we host frequent engagements for membership via Zoom. I mentioned earlier, up to yesterday, we had a general meeting, as it were. And so members, on one platform at one time, they're able to voice their concerns, give suggestions, and to hear from us. We've also commenced consultations on the increasing the mortgage ceiling to $20 million. Prior to now, it used to be 15. So we've commenced the consultation. We have also looked at the reduction in waiting time for members to access their first loan from the credit union. This is from 6 months to 3 months. So any new member who is with the credit union, you no longer will have to wait for 6 months. And these are all consultations that will be properly ventilated and thoroughly ventilated at the annual general meeting. We also have the introduction of low-cost vehicle and secured loans. That's another product that we will be discussing and ventilating at the annual general meeting: low-cost mortgages and group guarantor loans. Now, these are all products, as I said earlier, suggested and recommended by the general membership. And so we thought it best to have the ideas refined, and they would be taken to the annual general meeting for further discussions and deliberations. And these are just some of our achievements and consultations that we would have had during the period. But Mr. Mentor, you mentioned for the year, but it's not a year. We were elected into office on the 2nd of March. We had a little confusion with the banging of the tables and the whole confusion. And so we effectively started to work in April. And so our timelines for discussion really is from April to present.
Yes, you're
And when
correct. You're correct, dear.
Mere 4 months.
Yes,
yes,
you're
yes,
correct. You're correct.
yes, and when you look at what we would have achieved within this short space of time, look, a pat on the back is you know just
Deserve.
too limited. It's just too limited. But we love what we do. We are servant leadership. We love what we do, and we are happy when the members are happy. Every day you run into members, you try to assist in whatever little way, and they're very appreciative, and that is what keeps us going.
You know, Eslin and Kidaki, I think that the members would also be pleased to know that in in addition to bringing out a suite of new products, we are also very much aware that for things to work, there must be systems in place to make these things work. And to that end, we've been looking at the administrative and the operational systems to ensure that these are efficiently and effectively um, run so as to bring maximum satisfaction to our members. As we all would know, adjusting to change after years of, let us say, complacency and sloth is not something that can easily be done. And therefore, we've been looking at the systems, we've been looking at personnel performance, we have been looking at, and this, I must say, is not to intimidate anyone, but it is to bring out the best. We know that our employees, the employees of the credit union, we know that they have huge potential, but we don't want them to be like what Guyana used to be, Tom, having huge potential and no way of expressing that potential. And therefore, we are creating the kind of space, the mental, if you, the intellectual space, as it were, for our employees to grow, for them to grow, knowing that what they're doing will ultimately redound to the benefit of the general membership, and would at the same time give them immense job satisfaction in doing the job that they have signed on for.
Correct, correct. And Mr. Mentor, further to that, it allows us to really uphold our motto that says people helping people and to offer better service to our membership. It's not geared to make anyone feel as though they're not a part of the process. We're all a part of the process. But if we understand the working of the workings of the credit union, it's more of a network base. And so we're all in it, and we more than ever before, our motto is alive and well. We demonstrate our motto of people helping people.
But speaking about the motto, Eslin, I'm always a contrary fellow. And I have come to the realization, looking at the workings of credit unions, even in Guyana, that this people helping people motto has become such a bland catch phrase that it seems to have lost its original intention. And therefore, I would personally seek to encourage our committee and our members to look at ways of having a motto subsumed within the people helping people concept. Have a motto specific to our credit union, because I think we've been doing immense work. We've been doing tremendous work. And I think that subsumed within people helping people, as has happened in other places, other countries, you have a motto subsumed within the international motto, the universal motto of people helping people. You have one that is specially tailored and designed and reflective of what the GPSCCU is all about. That's my contrary view.
Okay. But there's always room for improvement as you go along, the new initiatives, new ideas, the direction you take would lend itself to not only reorganization, but remodeling, retooling, re-outfitting, re-looking at what your vision is, what your mission is, what your motto, and so that would really guide the process.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have also been encouraging the upskilling of our employees and even among ourselves as committee members. We do not want to be complacent and believe that we have arrived. No one, the employees or the committee members, we are always in the constant process of upskilling ourselves, ensuring that we are abreast of current developments internationally, so that we can make the GPSCCU a place that people feel we are on par, if you will. We want to reach a stage where we can be described as being on par with any credit union regionally, and I dare say internationally.
Yes. Kadaki?
Kadaki gone out now. Anyway, one of the things Kadaki gonna eat is that I'm sure we've been encouraging our members in the regions to register. I had a conversation with one not too long ago from Region 1 about half hour ago. And she was saying that actually she's saying that she will be there in person at the place of the meeting, where the meeting is being held. People call it place of poll. Well, if they're comfortable with that, fine. But she'll be there. And I did ask the question as to whether they've been registering. And I think people are opting to be in person, and they probably don't see the need to register in Region 1 as against being there. But I've urged that even though they will be there in person, they should go and register at this stage. Now, I have also been urging in my sister Candice region, I spoke to someone who I asked to kindly push it, because I know the person personally, to push the registration in Region 8. And this is with my colleague Candice's approval. And so we would expect that there will be a boost in those two regions. I know that the other regions have been working assiduously, and the committee members who are tasked with the responsibility of overseeing the operations and the business of those regions, credit union wise, I know that they've been working diligently. They've been urging their members through the regional reps, who we place a lot of we know we place a lot of responsibility, or we depend upon them a lot to push things along to try to realize our vision of maximum participation. So I think that we all deserve some pat on our backs.
Yes, and Mr. Mentor, as you're on that, I want to formally thank our regional representative. I want to formally thank our members of staff for all the hard work and dedication they've been doing behind the scenes. And so, even as we prepare to go into our AGM, we know it's a lot of work, and but at the end of the day, what matters for us is member satisfaction, um, is the fact that we can offer a service not only on paper, but one that is tangible enough, and a member could say, yes, I've been served and I'm happy with the service received. And so thank you on behalf of the chair, the chairman, and the committee of management members, and myself. Thank you for what you do. We expect that you continue to do what you do diligently, yes, with all that you have.
Yes, I wish to echo those words of thanks and trust that we will have some more awareness on the part of our members of what we have been doing, what we are doing, and what we intend to do for their benefit and for the ultimate benefit of the general membership. Um, this has been an not an easy road, but as we've heard the big people say, nothing good comes easy, and therefore for us to achieve the good things in life that we desire, it means we've got to put our shoulders to the wheel and support this team, the team that has made these things possible, the team that has been pushing for the full participation of members. We've been listening to members. Your words have not fallen on deaf ears. And we have, if the truth be told, been most prudent in how we manage the affairs of the credit union and how we manage the monies that you, the members, have entrusted to us. We have, I mean, I need to say it, we have avoided the extravagance of overseas travel. We have been urging our people more often than not to have the fullest participation on the online programs that are available. Even the persons beyond the employees, even beyond the committee, we have been encouraging the wider membership. Some people who have expressed the interest of knowing more about cooperativism and credit unionism, we have been encouraging them. And therefore, I think one of the things that should take us over the top in terms of our members' estimation is that we have been most prudent in the way we are doing things. And you can expect more of this. You can expect less extravagance and more benefits redundant to the general membership of the GPSCCU. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Mentor.
Mentor, Kadaki, if you may allow me,
All right,
you
yeah.
mentioned prudent management. And so I want to state clearly that the financial statements that are the statements that are in the annual general report, it's for the audited years 2021 and 2022. Yes, and so while the AGM is AGM 2024, the audited statements, they're for the years 2021 and 2022. I just sought to make that distinction because when we speak about prudent management, we can confidently speak from April to now, approximately 4 months. We can with confidence, and this is not prudent management, a phrase just fling out there. The records would show, the finances would show, the way we operate at the credit union. We don't take it for granted that the money is there, member savings, and to do as you want. No, we don't do that. We operate above board.
Thank you. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I think both of you have made fitting closing statements, so I'm not going to ask you to make closing statements again. Thank you for coming, and thank you for keeping the membership of the Guyana Public Service Co-op Credit Union informed.
I certainly will encourage everyone that is eligible to take part in the AGM coming Sunday the 25th. And of course, I wish you the best, Eslin, Mr. Mentor, and the rest of Team Ben.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guy, Jackie, and Jill Betty.
Thank you, Kedaki. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of this day.
Sure.
Have fun, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, good. So it's Free Talk Friday, and I'm not going to rob you of the opportunity to do a little free talking, because I am sure I've seen some what we call it voice notes in. So I'm going to play a couple of voice notes, and maybe I can entertain a few calls. But let's start with this voice note.
A pleasant good morning to you, Kedaki, and all the listening forum. This whole thing with disrespect for our indigenous people started with the renaming of the international airport. And from time to time, we see things like that. For instance, the area in which those 19 children died, they didn't have bathrooms. They had outside structures, and some had their bath in the little creeks or whatever. So it's not now that they're disrespecting our indigenous peoples. They've always been doing that. Whatever happened to the inquiry into the file? All you saw was bones being heaped up and further made into part of the road. I don't even think there's a structure or memoriam, if that's the right word, for those children that died. And so you had the minister and the president and all of them walking up in the evidence. And then all of a sudden you heard about a report. Oh Lord, I can't even remember the names now, how these things get me so angry. But I'm sure you understand what I mean when I said that was brushed over and swept under the carpet. Now they're advertising, or they're giving the public information about an area, a tele place for medical services, which basically just have 3 plastic chairs, a bench for the patient, and a computer. The disrespect has been there all the time, and it continues to happen. The strange thing is that politicians visit these areas, highlight these things, and I will say that the former government did a lot. But these people, even though the former government did all they did, they still turned around and voted for the People's Progressive Party. I don't understand what's happening there. I'm not going to imply that they don't deserve better because they voted for the PPP. But all I'm saying is that the disrespect continues. And like every other person right now in Guyana, it seems to me that they're sucker for punishment. A lot of people are still making excuses for the PPP. They're still gonna vote for the PPP, even though everyone working hard right now to let them open their eyes and see that the People's Progressive Party and its government is not good for Guyana. We're showing, the persons on social media are highlighting all the discrepancies, but if you were to go on some of those links, you will see that there are still persons who I am guessing are PPP supporters. They are still making excuses for their party when what they should be doing is holding their feet to the fire. I want to urge the supporters of the People's Progressive Party, because I know some of them listen to your program, Kedaki. They don't say anything, but they're right there. I want to urge them to hold the feet of the sitting government to the fire, because they themselves will not benefit from anything that the PPP does. We all see every day the favoritism for friends, family, and favorites. Good morning.
Morning, Brother Kidaki. Good morning, viewers. I look at this so-called install racial backward vice chairman. He's saying that he don't control no institution in this country. Come on, like man, lyric. You get catch fear with Vice News, with soup. You get catch with your underwear down. I'm telling you which underwear are bucked out drawers. You get catch with your underwear down. You have a part to do with all the institutions of this country. You control all by our oil money. You pay off every single institution in this country. You understand me? Look at the ERC, the ERC and the so-called DPP. You understand? Since Mr. Grange going there, since you had Mr. Grange come out from there, y'all control this institution. You understand me? So who you believe you lying to, boss man? Boss man, you really lying can't get catch body. The time for you spend all your lifetime in prison, you know. You understand? Time for you spend your lifetime in prison, boss man. With what you have done to this country. You got this country so tight. Oh Jesus. Tight more than a crap up batty. You got this country, boss man. You come up on national television. You come up on social media when the Thursday come and spread a lot of lies. Yo, Guyanese people not stupid, you know. You see these Indian people who used to support you, where you believe they could have manipulate all these years. Yo, and nothing for that anymore, boss man. And nothing for that anymore. And let me tell you something, Guyanese. Anytime you see these people go back in power, is America put them back in power, and GCOM. Let me tell you something, boss man. Anytime you see these people go back in power, these people can't win the Guyanese people. These people fail the Guyanese people so miserably. You understand me? You look at Exxon Mobil. These people take Guyanese people to court for Exxon Mobil. Oh Jesus, oh my God. What more Guyanese people we want to see? What more we want to see? Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at DPP. They're jailing all black people. They're sending all black people to court. And they had a man who accused of so much rape charge. So much rape charge, and he never brought to court one day. Come on, bro. Who this ballet criminal believe he talking to? Idiots. Yo, the Indian people are wake up, you know. They got some of them. But the majority of the Indians in this country and the Americans will wake up with all the bloody lies that you peddle on TV when the Thursday come. You understand me? The people are seeing everything. What you saying there is waste of time. The people that see exactly what's going on. What you talking there is opposite to what going on in this country. What you saying there? The country are deteriorating. Y'all fail the nation. Y'all fail the nation miserably. So you can go to where monkey put the nut. You understand me? You are one of the most disgraceful banner in this whole hemisphere. You understand? One of the most disgraceful and liar and scampish and thieving is what you are. You're supposed to be rotting in jail with all that you commit in this country of Guyana. Since you was installed. And we forget about the past. The 23 years. Everything about this 4 years what you done to this country. More worse than what you do when you was in there as a so-called president. So you can go to hell. All of y'all, each and every one of y'all, supposed to be in place by bars by now, by the American government. And them tell us have the world power. Understand me? What are they doing to Maduro? Let them come and do it to y'all. Maduro ain't do nothing. Y'all do things for showing every single day. Y'all only accusing Maduro. Y'all don't got no evidence for what Maduro, y'all said Maduro doing. You understand me? Because we government weak. That's why America, you can't do what you gotta do in this country up to this date. So don't you America believe you're fooling we Vito? Y'all fooling yourself. There's a time coming for y'all too. You understand me? Good. Have a blessed day, Guyanese, Indian brothers and sisters, and African brothers and sisters, the Amerindian brothers and sisters, and all the group in our country. Bless up. Big up. Y'all go enjoy every bit of it. Couple morning from now. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you for your voice note. It is now 11 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. It's time for me to go. It's Friday. I'll enjoy your weekend. Good. I continue to encourage you to partake in the Business and Cultural Expo on the 25th of August at the Benjamin's Lawn opposite Tipperary Hall, Buxton. It starts at 11 o'clock. Come down, meet producers, meet suppliers, exchange, information, sell some stuff, make some money, have some fun. We are definitely going to have a section of the area there for children's entertainment. So don't be afraid to walk with your children. Good. Kid, blessings for the Cash App. Thank you very much. Sometimes I don't get to check the Cash App. For me to check the Cash App, there are certain things I have to do before I start the program. And so for those of you who have not acknowledged in Cash App or Zelle this morning, it is because I didn't do that before I came onto the program. But blessings to each and every one of you who took time to go into the Cash App for this week and in the coming weeks. Much love. Peace.